Okay, let me make my announcements early. I'm wearing the Pretty Doll filter. How do you guys like that? I look sexy as hell. All right, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. Let's get into what I'm really here to talk about. So, Biden has escalated. Well, first of all, Biden is on vacation. TikTok, this is for educational purposes only or for entertainment purpose. You decide which one it is, but it is for either one of those purposes. And it's all fake news, by the way. But Biden just escalated us to World War III. That's how much he loved his constituency. It was absolutely no reason for that. If you guys go to the Ukraine right now, they are living large. There are no ghettos in the Ukraine. The war-torn places that they showed you is out in the middle of the country where nobody lives. Do you understand me? There's no threat from Russia against the Ukraine. All of the threats are coming from NATO. If you know who NATO is, NATO was built by the U.S. and the U.S. don't follow any NATO rules. Do you understand me? I voted for Trump, and I knew when I voted for Trump that it was going to be a problem with the Biden Kamala Harris administration. And here's where the problems lie. Democrats are so delusional. I don't even understand how these people are operating. I really don't. And they have so many people, uneducated, poorly educated people that are out there following them. It's so funny that they said that Trump, a lot of people that's following Trump, they're unintelligent. Well, let me just point out to Democrats how unintelligent you are. Whenever you bring up the Central Park Five and you condemn Trump on the Central Park Five, which was really bad. I don't agree with what happened with the Central Park Five at all. But here's what I also don't agree with. While you're pointing that one finger at Trump and those 5 individuals, look behind you and think about the 60 years that Biden has been in office and what Biden has done for his constituency, especially in the African American Black community. I would really like to know. Biden created a crime bill in the late 70s, early 80s that arrested all of the Black men in our community on low-level drug offenses, low-level crime. What they did was they implemented, in New York City, you had the Rockefeller Law, and in Congress, in the bill that Biden supported, was the 3-strike law, and you're out, right? And these laws was crafted because they wanted to remove federal judges' arbitrary decision-making and create a platform where if you commit crime A, then you have to pay with crime B. I mean, the punishment would be crime B, and that's what this law looked like, right? I mean, that's what and it's still on the books, by the way. That's what this law looked like. Let me give you an example. So, and this is a real true story. In North Carolina, in the I want to say the late the late 80s, you had a young Black guy who was on his way to work, and he was a hardworking kid on his way to college, but he worked at like the McDonald's or whatever. He was driving into town, and as he was driving into town, which was a long walk, he saw a friend that he grew up with in his community. So he gave that kid a ride. His car was pulled over along the way, and they found drugs on the friend that was a passenger in the car that he picked up. He had no idea this kid had drugs on him. But in the old days, the judge could look at the case, and based on like community involvement, people speaking up for the young man and his college application and his scores in school and things, a judge could look at that and say, well, you know what, this young man really had nothing to do with this young man who got in this car with the drugs on him. He was just actually trying to give him a ride into town. He had no idea, right? There's no reason for him to search the person. I mean, people did that all the time. When I was in Texas and I was driving, I saw friends, I picked them up all the time, right? Because not everybody have a vehicle, right? And I lived out in the country too. So there you have it. But in any case, according to the sentencing guideline laws, that kid who picked the kid up who had the drugs on him, that kid ended up getting more time than that kid who actually had drugs on him. And it was because of the sentencing guideline laws, which was a law to make sure that you were going to go to jail for something. Okay? This is the kind of bill that Biden crafted in the late 70s, early 80s. Okay, that crime bill that he wrote. This man, most blacks like myself, we've been supporters. I was born a Democrat. So it was no reason for me, the apples don't fall far from the tree like many of you guys, right? But I can't believe that this whole thing where, like, D.L. Hughley, by the way, I mean, you got to be careful who you follow, what celebrities you follow. These people are so ignorant, right? D.L. Hughley has the audacity to tell working class blacks and poor blacks to do not support or speak to people who voted for Trump. Does D.L. Hughley know that some of those people that he's telling you not to speak to, you have to borrow $5 from every week in order to use it as transportation to get to your job? You can't call D.L. Hughley and get $5 from him. Wait, let me back this story up. D.L. Hughley is a guy who his young daughter, when she was a child, came to him and said that one of his Hollywood friends touched her inappropriately. And, well, D.L. Hughley, he tells the story, I think it's on Hot 97 or 10 something 5 or whatever. I just know he told the story that when his daughter, his young daughter, who was a kid, I don't know, 6, 7 years old, whatever, came to him and said that one of his Hollywood friends touched her inappropriately, D.L. Hughley said he didn't believe her. He cast her aside for his Hollywood friend. This is the guy that you really want to take some advice from? You want to take some advice from D.L. Hughley? Oh, wait, hold on. Megan Thee Stallion? Wait, Cardi B? Oh, Beyonce. Do you guys not realize that every one of those celebrities that got on that stage to endorse Kamala Harris was paid to do so? To the point that Kamala Harris campaign now owes her own campaign $20 million. But her campaign earned $1 billion and she is $20 million in the hole. You think this woman have what it takes to run the country? She couldn't even run her campaign. It's my cat. She couldn't even run her freaking campaign. She is $20 million in debt. And this is who you're selecting. This is who you think would make a great candidate to run this country. All right. I'm just going to stop there and come back with some more.